How has this race gone for you so far?
Well, it's been very challenging, as it always is, I guess. But, I had no idea going into it how I was going to do. And I hadn't really done like what I would consider the ideal preparation. And I was pretty tired, so it could have been a total disaster. So the fact that even though I'm sort of really on the edge, if I can keep up the kind of daily mileage for the next 10 days, then I'll be able to finish like at the end of day 52. That's, that's kind of a miracle in a way. That's like a real, yeah.
What's it like to be kind of racing on the edge, so to speak, because you're so close to that daily average?
Yeah, I know. It's a new experience for me. I mean, I've been like that in other races for always at some point I've been like that, but not really. This race has been sort of for most of the race, really. So I sort of surrendered to it at some point because I thought, maybe I can get a few more miles in and I would start to, and then I'd get an injury or something would happen. So I kind of got used to it. It's not, not what you'd term like ideal, because it means every day is so intense, and people watching kind of probably see, oh yeah, she's like clicking off the, consistent, and everyone's like, oh, you're so consistent, but it's really like, for me, my speed this year is just not quite as fast as they have been other years, so I have to really like be so intense all day, every day. So that's challenging.
And how you've been staying to right at the end as well?
Yes, until midnight. Yeah, I actually really do my best running when it's dark at night. So when the sun's out, it's harder for me to run somehow. And it's always been like that, but this year it's more like that. So I just really have to count on those last few hours to be able to kind of get a few extra miles in. So which it's sort of hard because you've already been running for so many hours, but at the same time that's when I can run my best. So it's sort of, in a way, it's fun. In some way. Yeah.
I mean, you seem quite happy to say you have all these physical challenges and tiredness. Do you get a lot from the race?
I guess I do. I mean, when you're in it, I don't know, to me it's so similar to, it can be so like if you run a marathon, it's like, you get a lot from it, but when you're in the middle of it, it's just tough, Yeah. So I was thinking, well, today is probably like about like mile 21 of a marathon, So, I do get a lot from it, and it's a real blessing, but the main thing that I still have to work on a lot is to really just identify more with the part of my heart and soul, the part of me that is really, really thriving and enjoying the experience, and have less identification with like the mind and body, which are, suffering.
And for some of us, it's very hard to comprehend the kind of mileage is involved. How do you think you're able to do it? The 188 marathons of 3,100 miles?
Just by God's grace. Yeah, that's all. Only by grace, and then I guess you can kind of break that down into just, identifying with this unlimited part of ourselves that we all have with our, with the divinity inside me, with my soul, which is a part of the universe, which is connected to unlimited energy, and to really identify, the more that you can identify with that and less with the mind, because the mind makes everything very limited and thinks that you run out of energy, but you can really get so much energy just by calming the mind and trying to have peace and really breathing in cosmic energy and trying to feel that you're connected with the energy of the universe, and we are, so that's it's really only the being able to connect with the spiritual, deeper, unlimited source of energy and capacity within ourselves that I can even fathom being able to do it. And I don't know how it's possible for me to. It's just really, that's why it's really all grace.
And tapping into this unlimited spirit, are there any secrets to be able to do it when it's pouring down with rain or boiling hot?
Well, just like really being in the moment, trying to just really being in the moment. And sometimes it's really helpful to kind of, if your mind is thinking, oh, this is so hard, just think, well, there's so many harder things that people go through in life. And, you think of the incredible journeys refugees take, or, when people are in these situations, life and death experiences, how people find this incredible capacity, or, Nelson Mandela being in jail for 27 years, and, how like people, they go through these experiences and it's what helps to make them amazing people. And so just to feel like, it's not that bad if it's pouring with rain, or if it's really hot, it's not that, it could be a lot worse. And then just to feel like it will be, it will be over. And really just not letting the mind kind of take you on this kind of road of doom and gloom, and just try to feel grateful for the opportunity to draw, to be sort of forced to draw on this deeper part of yourself, and know that I've done things like this before, and hopefully this is helping me become stronger so I can deal more with these kind of things in the future also.
And you've been doing this race non-stop for quite a few weeks now. What's it like being cut off from ordinary life and being able to focus solely on this race? Do you feel different in yourself?
Yeah, I guess it just becomes like all-consuming, and it kind of becomes normal in a funny way. But it is a real opportunity just to not have to worry about all of the regular things in life, and just to be able to really simply, I'll just get that next time, it's fine. Just to have such a simple existence, is a real opportunity actually. And this year I've had days where I just haven't looked at my phone at all, and I've been this is such an opportunity just to be present in the moment, and just to it definitely helps you to be much more identified with with where you are now, and with your surroundings and the people that you're with and where you're at. And I think that's a really very fulfilling. And I think so much of the time people are unfulfilled because they're not really able just to appreciate the moment, and kind of our minds are all over the place. And when we can just be still and be present and be grateful, there's so much satisfaction in that.
And just one final question. What's special about this race, the Sri Chinmoy Self-Transcendence 3100?
You mean compared to other races?
Yeah, or about the feeling you get at this particular race?
Well, yeah. And I mean, in a way, it's a spiritual race, I guess it depends what you're comparing it to, but I think it wasn't created to make money, or for people to be able to prove themselves, or it was dreamed up by Sri Chinmoy as a spiritual manifestation of the unlimited, a way to spiritually or to physically express what we spiritually have inside ourselves. And so I think that the foundation, that the creation of this race was to express spirituality, and to really be like the longest race, to really show, show how much more capacity that we all have. It definitely, impacts people in many different ways. And I know that in so many ways there's all of the people, disciples and people from the Sri Chinmoy Centre around the world, but there's many people all around the world who hear about the race, and they might not understand the spiritual reason behind it, but they really feel something from it, and they really get inspiration. And we get messages from people, or people just driving by, or kind of let you know, or people walking by will let you know that this race is really, really touching them. And I don't think they even really understand why. And we don't even really understand why either, but we just know that it's something very significant. And Sri Chinmoy, he said a lot of things about this race, and all coming back to the significance of the individual, and that if one of us, if any individual on earth can really connect with their soul and do the best that they can do, then we are all connected, and we do impact the whole world. And he felt that this race really exemplifies patience and perseverance, and that we really need those qualities to have peace in the world. And so if we can bring those to the fore and show how far you can go if you can have patience and perseverance, which you really, really need, then in some way it will show that world peace is possible, and that many things that we think are maybe out of reach are possible if we just keep going, putting one foot in front of the other and doing our best. So yeah, there's a lot you could say about the significance of this race.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Harita.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.